Mavs fans, what's going on? Welcome into NBA Now from Chat Sports. With you as always, I'm your host, Jimmy Crowther, breaking down all the latest news and rumors going around Dallas Mavericks Nation. And today we're going to start off with one about Luka Doncic. He is officially committed to play in the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo for his hometown of Slovenia. Look, this was kind of a given. You know he wanted to play. He didn't get to play in the World Cup just recently for Slovenia, so he wants to get back on the court to represent his country. And you know, back in 2017, he did win the Eurobasket gold medal with Slovenia and his teammates. He's a great international player, and now he's becoming a great NBA player as well. So I think he's really going to help out Slovenia in the 2020 Olympics. Now, his final season in Real Madrid, the last year he played against international competition, he was putting up 12.8 points per game, 5.7 rebounds, 5 assists, but he's shooting just 28% from three. Now, once he gets back into the Olympics, he starts playing more international ball. I think all the experience that he's had in the NBA will really translate into that international play. Now, players that have been playing for the Slovenian national team and who I expect to suit up in Tokyo in 2020, it's a pretty solid list. These top 5 guys you got right here. Luka Doncic, of course, along with Goran Dragic of the Miami Heat. None of these guys have officially committed, but I do expect them to play. Dragic is a good one. Vlatko Konkar, I might have mispronounced that name, but he is a 22-year-old rookie for the Denver Nuggets right now. He is playing professionally here in the NBA. He's only played one game this year. He's averaged 9 points per game in the Summer League just recently for the Nuggets, but I expect him to be on the Slovenian national team. Goran Dragic's brother, Zoran Dragic, will be there, and Anthony Randolph, a former NBA player as well, has been suiting up for Slovenia. Now, as we go into the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo, we got to look at the past 5 winners, and it has been dominated by the United States. 2016, USA wins it. That was KD, PG, Melo, and DeMarcus Cousins. In 2012, it was America again. That team was LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Russ, James Harden were all there. Then 2008, it was Kobe Bryant and Dwayne Wade leading that team to the gold medal. 2004, the only year in the past 5 Olympics that wasn't the United States, Argentina won it with guys like Luis Scola, Andrea Nocioni, Carlos Delfino were suiting up for Argentina. And then back in 2000, you had Vince Carter, Jason Kidd, Kevin Garnett, and Ray Allen. That team in 2000 won the gold medal for the United States. But now, Luka Doncic, Goran Dragic are going to go in there, hopefully win a gold medal for Slovenia. But as we go into it, I want to ask you guys, which country should be the favorite to win the 2020 Olympics? Now, we don't know all who's playing for the United States. We don't know everybody that'll play for Slovenia either. Maybe Spain, maybe Argentina, whoever it may be. But who do you think is the favorite to win the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo? Let me know in the comments section below. And if you're feeling really confident about it, you can use BetDSI to make some money off the Olympics. Make some money off the NBA games right now. You go to chatsports.com/bet. Use our promo code with our ad sponsor, BetDSI, promo code NBA120. They're going to give you a 120% deposit bonus when you place your first bet with BetDSI. Again, that's chatsports.com/bet. Start betting on some Mavs games, bet on some NBA games, college football, NFL, whatever it may be. Use our guys over at BetDSI, chatsports.com/bet. Now let's move on to Delon Wright. He apparently isn't going to be getting a championship ring from the Toronto Raptors. Now, you got to remember, he was drafted by the Raptors, back in 2015. He played with the team for 3.5 years before getting shipped off at the trade deadline last year before the Toronto Raptors won the NBA championship. Now, when he was asked earlier in the summer, the Raptors asked him straight up, what's your ring size? So he kind of thought, hey, maybe I'm getting a ring. I know I didn't play in the championship, but I was with the team for 3.5 years. I spent half the championship season on the team. Maybe I'll get a ring, but according to the Toronto Sun, he is not going to be getting one. Now, this year so far, he's been really good for the Dallas Mavericks. 8.4 points per game, 3.3 assists, 3.5 rebounds, shooting 35% from 3. He's only taken 2 or 3 per game, but he's still been looking good shooting. You know, those numbers are really good, and those are the similar numbers he put up when he was in Toronto. He made a real impact off the bench, and it kind of surprises me that he's not getting a ring. I think he deserves one. Now, you got to remember, there were 3 other guys that were traded in the Marc Gasol trade. Delon Wright, Jonas Valanciunas, and CJ Miles. And according to the Toronto Sun, none of those guys are getting a championship ring from the Toronto Raptors. I kind of think it's crap because I think they really helped that team get to where they were to get in the NBA championship last season. Now, you got to remember, this was the trade that went down last year during the trade deadline. Memphis Grizzlies and Toronto Raptors. The Grizzlies agreed to send Marc Gasol, a franchise center, to the Raptors for Delon Wright, Jonas Valanciunas, CJ Miles, and then the 2024 second round pick, which doesn't really mean a whole lot, but That's 3 quality bench players that aren't getting a ring for the Toronto Raptors. And I'll say it again, Delon Wright and Jonas Valanciunas especially, they were there to help that team build and get to where they were, get to a spot to which they could compete for an NBA championship. Now the Raptors are just saying, you guys didn't do that much, you don't need a ring. But I think it's crap, but let me know what you guys think. Does Delon Wright deserve a ring? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Again, I'd be typing my Y for yes because he'd been there since 2015. He was there through the ups and downs, the playoff runs that they went on, the DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Lowry days. And then Kawhi Leonard comes in town, wins him a ring. Delon Wright doesn't get in on the action at all. I'm kind of out on it. I don't like that from the Raptors. Now let's move on to tonight's game against the San Antonio Spurs. This will be the first matchup the Mavs and Spurs have played this season, so it'll be the first time the Spurs get to see Kristaps Porzingis in a Dallas Maverick uniform. Now, the Spurs have been absolutely terrible these past few games. They've lost 5 straight. They've lost 7 of their last 8 games, and some of these losses have come against teams like the Atlanta Hawks, the Memphis Grizzlies, the Orlando Magic, the Portland Trailblazers, who usually you'd say is a good team, but Portland hasn't been that good this year either. Now, to credit the Spurs, they did start the season off 4-1, but losing 5 straight and now coming into Dallas, that's not a great situation for the Spurs. However, for the Dallas Mavs, it looks really, really good. Now, you got to remember, they defeated the Toronto Raptors on Saturday. It was a great win, a great all-around team win. Luka Doncic obviously looked great. Kristaps Porzingis looked like he was really getting comfortable in the offense. I love what I saw from guys like Seth Curry, Delon Wright. Maxi Kleber played incredible defense on Pascal Siakam. I expect him to play great defense on a guy like LaMarcus Aldridge as well. Now, one thing about the Mavs, they have not been good from the three-point arc so far this year. That's going to have to take a big jump up. And really, the depth is going to have to show some consistency. I really expect them to have a big game tonight against the San Antonio Spurs. The guys off the bench, like the Tim Hardaway Jr.'s, like the DeLon Wrights, Jalen Brunson, Dwight Powell if he comes off the bench tonight. They need to have big games to take some load off of that starting 5 and guys like Luka and KP. They can't do it all. Now, for the Spurs, there are 3 main guys the Mavs are going to have to pay attention to. 3 guys that are really carrying everything for the Spurs when they are winning games. DeMar DeRozan, he's averaging 19.8 points per game, 4 boards and 4 assists. He kind of does it all, but not a great shooter. Mid-range, great. Not really worried about him from beyond the three-point arc. LaMarcus Aldridge, of course, down low. Look, I've always been a big fan of LaMarcus Aldridge's game. It really ages well with time because he's just a good low-post player, good from the mid-range as well. 18.5 points per game so far this year. Hasn't been great at rebounding, 6.5 per game, and then 2.3 assists. And their third leading scorer, a guy that maybe a casual NBA fan isn't that, comfortable with. They don't know him that well. Bryn Forbes, a guy out of Michigan State, 14.3 points per game, 2.7 boards, and just 1.3 assists. But he's a guy that I could see just absolutely killing the Dallas Mavericks. Because if you're a lifelong Mavs fan, you know there's always one guy that just comes out of nowhere and destroys the Mavs. I would say Bryn Forbes could be that guy tonight, so watch out for him. Now, the projected starting lineups tonight for the San Antonio Spurs, it's a pretty solid starting 5. DeJounte Murray coming off that torn ACL. I've always been a big fan of Murray's game. I think he's going to make a huge impact. Someone the Mavs are going to have to watch out for sure. Bryn Forbes is starting at the 2 guard. DeMar DeRozan is your starting small forward with Trey Lyles and LaMarcus Aldridge down low. Now, yes, Trey Lyles is starting, but Jakob Poeltl will get most of those minutes there, and LaMarcus Aldridge can then shift back over to the power forward position. Now, for the Dallas Mavericks, of course, probably the same lineup they went with in Toronto. That's what I would go with if I was Rick Carlisle, but who really knows what Rick is going to do with the rotations at this point because he's been switching it up all year long. But this is what I've got. Luka Doncic is your point guard. He is officially the point guard of this team. Seth Curry starting at the 2 guard position. Now, I would personally like to see Delon right there, but I'm happy with Seth. I'm happy with the shooting, and he is an underrated defender as well. Your 3 is Dorian Finney-Smith. I expect him to be guarding DeMar DeRozan. That'll be a big-time matchup to watch out for. Dorian, great on the defensive end. Hasn't been real consistent offensively, but I'll watch for that tonight. Kristaps Porzingis, of course, at the power forward position. Look, if you put Trey Lyles or LaMarcus Aldridge on KP, I think Porzingis is going to have a big game because neither of those guys are great defenders. And then, of course, Maxi Kleber is the center. I expect him to be guarding LaMarcus Aldridge after the incredible night that he had against Pascal Siakam and the Toronto Raptors. Look, I'm picking the Mavs tonight. I know last week I picked the Mavs to beat the Knicks. That didn't work out so well, but I feel good about this one. Who you got tonight? Type S for Spurs. Type M for Mavs. Look, I'd be typing my M for the Dallas Mavericks. And here you go, Mavs fans. If you want to watch this game without commercials, here's what you're going to do. You're going to go to our partners at My TV Choice. That's chatsports.com/MyTV. You download that app, hook it up to your smart TV, and the My TV Choice app is going to skip right through all the commercials during the Mavs and Spurs game and get you right back to the action. During those commercial breaks, you'll get to watch great Chat Sports videos instead. Just use that My TV Choice app, chatsports.com/MyTV. Now, after you download that, again, I want you to pick who's going to win this game tonight in the comment section below. Type S for Spurs and type M for Mavs. Thanks, Mavs fans, and I'll see you next time.